So, I mean, we've all mentioned this, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think sort of sometimes what it's indicative of is how much we care about what we're doing.
Correct.
I think it would be very concerning if you were like, yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to make any changes. I don't think I need to take any additional training. I think this is it. I'm at the sort of the best at which I can be as a coach. For me, that's the warning signal. That's when I'm running a mile away from that person. The person who thinks that they've done it, that they get whatever it is that they're working on, I'm scared of that person. I'm not scared of the person who occasionally comes in and their coaching is a little off, but it's more from like this lack of confidence, or they're still working on something. I've got plenty of time for that person. I have very little time for anyone who thinks that they're it.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the Fitness Corner under the block. You're hanging out with the Red Dot crew, and this is the Red Dot Fitness Unplugged, the podcast where fitness meets real life and we spill the tea on what's really like in our little corner under the block. Hi everyone, hope you liked our previous episodes. If you like it, please follow our Spotify, and then you can comment on our episode as well. See ya guys.
Maybe the way in which you're affected and the way in which I'm affected may look different these days. Like, I don't know how it strikes you, like, or if you're comfortable sharing an example of how it comes up for you.
I think it's like, because I don't see myself very up there.
Right.
Because just feel it more.
Sure.
But then like just feel I do this, I do that, I'm okay at everything, not the best. Right? But then as a coach, like, at least it's kind of high standard. Must know my stuff, or else I get my ass fired. So then like I have to have a certain amount of skill set to be able to hold this.
Yeah.
And then like sometimes I take a step back into my everyday life and look at myself from a coaching perspective. It's like, that's me. That's me. Like then sometimes when I coach, I think to myself, like, when I have those thoughts, like, oh, can I? Sometimes I think to myself, can I do this job?
Right.
Like, should I continue coaching, or am I good enough as a coach, or can I get better, or am I just gonna be this like at this level? You know, it's like, then it's like, I think to myself, should I quit this job?
So, I mean, we've all mentioned this, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think sort of sometimes what it's indicative of is how much we care about what we're doing.
Correct.
I think it would be very concerning if you were like, yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to make any changes. I don't think I need to take any additional training. I think this is it. I'm at the sort of the best at which I can be as a coach. For me, that's the warning signal. That's when I'm running a mile away from that person. The person who thinks that they've done it, that they get whatever it is that they're working on, I'm scared of that person. I'm not scared of the person who occasionally comes in and their coaching is a little off, but it's more from like this lack of confidence, or they're still working on something. I've got plenty of time for that person. I have very little time for anyone who thinks that they're it. Because then you're not open to the possibility of learning something new, right? You cannot come in and say, this is the only way to squat, right? This is the one way to squat, and everybody's got to squat the same. I don't care that, that you've got one leg longer than the other, and I don't care that you've had a hip replacement. I don't I'm not going to factor in any of this. These are the rules, right? And it's these very black and white stances that lead to this idea of not needing to improve. So I'm not saying we should suffer from imposter syndrome. I think it's really awful because it can really get to you, and I've had no shortage of moments where I think, okay, I'm just going to stop. I need to just go and get another full-time job and go back into something that just feels a little more accessible. But I think a lot of the time these feelings of inferiority, really, they come from a place of deep care. So for me, I am no longer trying to get rid of my imposter syndrome. I am trying to understand it better. I'm trying to recognize, oh, here we come, here it comes. Like sort of, like the other week I had one, right? And I sent a message and I was like, to a good friend who knows that I'm like this, and I was like, yeah, like sort of I'm absolutely questioning all of my life decisions, around what I'm doing. But I also know I'm going to come out of this at the other end and be able to see clearer. But today, this is how I feel, right? So I think it's also about trying to get a handle on it and not necessarily pretending that you're going to be able to get rid of it completely. Yeah, I mean, that's how I've sort of come to accept that this is just, you mentioned that cycle, right? Like for me, this is a cycle.
But fun fact, you know that actually a lot of high performance people in the world has imposter syndrome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So the theory is because there'll be a point whereby they get so efficient and so proficient in whatever they're doing, then you realize that, am I there yet? And that's where breakthroughs happen, right?
Okay.
Whereby you realize, okay, maybe I'm not that good, so let me find out more. So that imposter syndrome, it works like a warning sign, like in a way for you are craving to know more.
Right.
But also it could be a flip side, right? Whether you can handle the imposter syndrome.
Okay.
Whereby you realize, yes, this is a warning sign, and then yes, you did so much, and then you are doing so well in many things. But if you have that imposter syndrome situation, right, then you'll be like, is there any loopholes in whatever I know?
Okay.
So if a typical type A or motivated person, you'll be like, okay, this is a whole big picture. Maybe I go down to the micro bits. This is something maybe I need to work on more, which will improve a lot more of your whole skill. But of course, on the flip side, will be like, some people will view imposter syndrome, oh, I'm really that bad. And then they just suck through that rabbit hole and just base it in. And that's where I would say usually are people who do not have their foundation laid out well.
Right.
Yeah, whereby they start crumble. So might not be a bad thing, because
Yeah, it almost sounds like sort of like you mentioned, like the warning signal, like sort of don't stagnate, don't like sort of settle here. There's even more, right? Yeah, it feels like a comfort for sure.
Yeah.
Because I kind of thought like, oh, surely at this point I will not feel this way, but yeah, you do. Yeah.
Which happened to me on the recent snatch workshop.
Oh, why? Talk about it?
Yeah, so I'm very confident with snatches, right? Like only lift. So I'm very confident. Not saying that I'm a good mover. I just I know the basic mechanics and how to make it better. So everything is in the back of my mind. So when the day approached to the day before, right, of the workshop, I was like, am I really able to do it? Am I able to lead 10 people to do a snatch properly? What do I know that I can
This is the morning of.
This is the day before of that workshop. So what can I do to impact these 10 people that they will be achieved, they will achieve whatever this next workshop is.
Yeah, that's right.
So the night before, right, in my mind, we're just running through all the theories and okay, this is how. So for me is I go into my problem solving mode.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go through the theory. I'm gonna break everything into 3 parts. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I just gonna keep people moving. At the end of the day, everyone will be happy. And voila.
Yeah.
It ended well. But the one day you look a bit nervous in the morning.
Yeah, of course.
When you came in the morning, it's like.
I also think nerves are a good thing.
Yeah.
I think nerves are also a sign that we care, right?
Yep.
Like sort of if we're just strolling in, sort of like we've been here before. I mean, also sort of I feel like that's a warning signal. But this idea of how do I convince or remind myself that I am capable of doing this thing? I mean, I think we're giving different names or different descriptions to essentially doing the same thing. For me, it's like remembering like you don't need to be the absolute authority on this thing, but you need to be able to fulfill the role of whatever it is you have said you're going to provide. So if this is the workshop, what is the intention of the workshop, right? So I always go back to like, so for me, I do more trainings these days than workshops, so they're a little bit longer, but essentially they're the same thing, right? Where people have a specialized interest in something, they want to hone a skill, they want to build on something that they already have. So I always ask like, what is the intended outcome, right? What do I want people to walk away from by the end of our time together? I do not need them to be the perfect yoga teacher, because I certainly am not. Like I do not need them to be 100% confident in everything they do. But what do I want them to be able to walk away with, right? Like an understanding of whatever it is that we're teaching, right? The ability to perhaps plan and prepare and be ready for change, like whatever it is, right? Like, and I look for like really no more than 3 key things I want them to walk away from, and then I work backwards from that. Have I catered for these things that I said they're going to be able to? Is it evident in my planning that they will be able to walk away with these things? And if they are, and if I know that what I'm teaching them is coming from a place of relative to them experience and expertise that I have, then that's all I can offer. Is there somebody who might be more well versed in this? Absolutely, there always is, right? There's always going to be somebody who knows more, who has trained more, who has done it for longer. But relative to this situation, when they step into the space with me, will they be able to walk out with what I have promised in that description of the course of the workshop? And that can sometimes help settle some of those nerves where I'm sort of going, why did I say I was going to do this? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay so far. Everyone's good.
Yep.
I think everyone who went for the workshop was
Happy.
definitely moving better.
Yeah. Is this a series then, like sort of like
the
key
workshops?
movements? Yeah.
There's one happening tomorrow.
That's not happening tomorrow. So basically, what I feel in a day-to-day workouts, if the member want to learn something more in depth, so let's say like super technical lift, maybe like snatch, clean and jerk, or maybe clean and split jerk, which is not covered on a daily basis, or even like butterfly pull-ups or muscle-ups and stuff, then I will run that kind of workshop. To me, it's justifiable. Like for me to run double unders workshop doesn't make sense, because I feel that it's easily achievable. Yeah, as long as you're doing the work. It's not like a need a long period of time, need like special cues to get it done. Yeah. So moving forward, I'll be doing more workshop based in a way to so-called, but we always ask the members like, okay, so what workshop you guys want to see?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I'm lucky enough that I am able to do and coach that movement.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's my main thing as a coach is I might not need to be the fittest person everywhere, but as long as I can perform or demonstrate the movement and able to provide value in coaching, then I will need to get the movement.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how I view coaching is. Yeah, so that's why as long as the CrossFit have come up with a new movement, I will try to get it.
What else can they come up?
I don't.
Don't
Backflip.
don't tempt fate.
I don't. I don't know at this age, I attempt backflip. Yeah. So like triple unders the last few years. Yeah, so like able to do it. They're like pullovers nowadays. Or like handstand walks. I mean, not
What
really-
used to be sort of like far away is now like coming to be more of a standard. Yeah.
And it's coming in a position that I'm, as a specialist of coaching, I will able to deliver the value that the workshop is demanded. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my rule.
I guess it just shows that coaches are humans too.
Right?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
I think that's something we need to put out there.
Yep.
Feels like sometimes when you are coached by someone, then you see them like, wow, superhuman, yo. Yeah, I get that feeling like,
Yeah, which kind of fall into that hierarchy, right? Like putting someone.
Yeah, I was going to
up
say,
there
I
as
think this
guru.
is a part of that, right? Like sort of it's, okay, so what's causing that, right? Like sort of what's causing people to have that impression
Yep.
and how do we get to sort of like remove ourselves from that? I think that what you've done over the last few years has really helped.
correct.
That sort of just, like it's not like you're fading, it's more like you just move yourself into different parts
Yeah.
of what Red Dot is doing, you know? Yeah.
But I think now it's even more obvious.
Yeah.
I don't even attempt RX workout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, to me is, I mean, although you can say this is like a mental wellness thing whereby being an RX athlete, then suddenly need to change to skill, and then reaching the acceptance that it may not be my time anymore, and then trying to step down. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so whereby you just prioritize what stage you are at and accept that you're, or basically just loving yourself more in a way.
Yeah.
Because even if, let's say not saying I cannot attend the RX work, but what's the outcome of me doing the RX workout, the aftermath of it, will it affect the different part of my life? Is it worth it? Right?
I mean, I think so much of this is about ego, right? Like sort of how much of this is me feeding my ego versus how much of this is an actual benefit to my physical health. If I, you know, not going heavier and you're capable of it and it's going to prevent you from getting stronger is one thing. Not going heavier just for the sake of going heavier is totally different. And you practice other sports.
Yeah.
You have a family.
Yeah.
Like sort of, you know, there are other things that, like you said, like if I do this RX and I feel like a train wreck tomorrow, is that going to affect how I am able to parent? Or is it going to affect, I have a BJJ session, right, in a couple of days' time. So it's also about like, where do your priorities lie?
Balance. So actually this part I also went through in terms of the mental aspect, like, oh, people view you as a head coach and then you're not RXing,
Right.
then that kind of situation, you get what I mean?
Yeah. Why you scared?
Yeah, so you know, like there's this phase actually, whereby, so honestly at that point you're like, okay, maybe I just RX for the sake of RXing.
Because it's expected of you.
Correct. And then like, or maybe members will be like, hey, why are you not signing up for this competition? Why are you not doing RX in this competition? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So in my mind it's like, of course initially it's like, I should be that role model, right? I should be like, I should show that, okay, Red Dot can RX.
Right.
I should put the branding out there to whack myself badly so that showing that maybe we can podium somehow or another. But after a while I think something switched in my mind whereby same thing. So first thing is prioritizing, right? So yeah, different, like being a parent, being a husband, being like trying to do other sports. But also I think what major change is I changed a mindset whereby I basically trying to show an example to the members whereby yes, I used to be an RX athlete, but as life goes on, if I can RX, I will RX if I can. If not, I will skill and showing that it's okay.
I mean, I have more admiration for that. I don't know if it's because of where I am in my life and like sort of my own movement journey and what that's looked like and different injuries and different communities and whatever. But for me, I have so much more respect for somebody who's able to like see a bigger picture and go, this is what I'm going to do today. I like sort of.
Because ever starts Red Dot is like, because every time the activities are like, oh, you should use your fitness out of the gym, you should do something outside, you're being so fit here, but you're not using it to do what you like. I mean, of course, if you like CrossFit, you like all the workouts, fine, I mean, that's your gift. But if you had a passion of maybe going to basketball or like wakeboarding or like snowboarding, use it outside. I mean, whereby it's totally fine because I just feel that in terms of health, in terms of mental health, it's actually way healthier because you have a wide balance of every variety.
Yeah.
Comparing to like a tunnel vision of this is it.
Yeah.
It's like CrossFit is Eugene. If without CrossFit, there's no Eugene. So the thing is, like, I'm trying to move out of that small little box, right?
I think sort of like, we've come really close to like situations where we learn very hard lessons, like sort of, I mean, it's over a decade now since I broke my arm. You were there when that happened, right? And like, my whole life disappeared because my entire life was CrossFit at the time, and so I had this really bad break. The operation was messy, like sort of, I just realized that it's people didn't disappear, but if your whole life is built around going to the gym, eating the right thing, eating at the right time, going back to the gym, doing your supplementary training, then and everybody else's life is also built around that, and you for a period of time cannot do that, then of course you don't see them as often, right?
Yep.
And so I only now in hindsight can I say, I was probably depressed. I probably needed therapy. I might have needed medication. We will never know, right? Like at that point in time. But instead, I was home trying to move through like sort of an incredibly painful injury. Like this was not just like a broken arm. This was like
so many things.
Like sort of, there was just a lot like happening with that particular injury. And like I crumbled, sort of, and it lingered for a long time because the return felt really challenging as well. I didn't know who I was. I had attached so much of my identity to Jen, the person who works out twice a day, and Jen, the person who's intermittent fasting, and Jen, like, every bit of me was tied up with that. And it all sort of like, it was like the floor collapsing from underneath you, and it was because I had put all of my investment in this one thing. So it's not me saying CrossFit bad. It was me being really imbalanced in my approach to this particular modality of moving my body, right? And I had not considered other friendships or other interests, So like sort of I think mental health can also sort of like, be quite impacted when you pour so much of yourself into one thing and then it moves away from you.
I think it's also because like because when you guys are let's say you start one thing, which for you guys will be like CrossFit, fitness, journey, whatever, then you get so used to kind of pushing forward, right? So every day is like new challenge, how to improve, how to get better, how to do this movement, how to do that movement, how to lift heavy weights. But then sometimes things, life happens, injury, whatnot. Then it's like, I think a lot of people at that point would not know how to
recover,
take a step back, and like now the RX now, right, is not to go as hard as I can, but like focus on recovery or focus on other things.
But like it can be pretty toxic as well.
Yeah.
Like sort of like for me, I fell into that trap, and it wasn't even just about rehab. It was like, how can I like make sure that I'm doing the absolute most in spite of, like there are photos and videos of me like sort of doing stuff I absolutely should not have been doing at that point in my recovery. But I felt like it was the only way I could hang on by a thread to what I thought was my whole life,
The grounding, right?
Yeah.
It feels like you're finding back your grounds.
Yeah, like sort of, because that's all I thought I had as well, right? Yeah, and then of course, like sort of, I mean, you're going to be like the best rehab student, but it has to be for the right reasons.
Correct.
Yeah. I think it can.
Yeah. How long did it kind of take you, right, to
Recover?
not say recover, but like come to realize that, like let's say Jen or Eugene, it's not just all about CrossFit or fitness. Like kind of take a step back. How long did that process take for you guys? Because like, okay, maybe I start.
Eugene and I are just pulling faces. We're just going.
Maybe I start with my.
Yes,
my
please.
So
While we think.
My whole of my teens, right, is revolve around basketball. Right?
Okay.
I want to be like the best or as best as I can. Right? Big fan of hockey, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, but I wasn't very lucky because, like, first of all, I'm short. Yeah, I'm very short. I'm very short for a guy, below average, and my school don't have any basketball CCA.
But your looks is above like
Of course.
average.
I'll take that. Yeah, and my school didn't have basketball at the time, and I couldn't get into poly basketball because, like, usually poly basketball is like
National teams,
national team based on more of connection rather than how good you
skill
are.
set.
Yeah,
Okay.
at least like
Gross.
from my point of view,
Yeah.
I will not say that they are, but
I mean, it's how a lot of
basically-
things work.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
sure.
Basically, I feel it as a person pretty much revolve around only basketball, like just that. So every day I would train, I play for hours on that. Like there'll be like point of time where like, oh, okay, I don't even hang out with friends. I just go and play outside. Then, but I'm glad I managed to make friends through basketball, which I still hang out with to this day. But then at some point I realized like, wow, shit, I'm never gonna become at this like level that I want to be, like national player or international player, right? Then COVID hit, could not play basketball.
Right.
Like like, oh shit.
Yeah.
There's like it's just at home doing absolutely nothing, right? Then of course when kind of COVID, the lockdown resumed, I started playing basketball again, right? But this one is like on my own, training on my own. Then I overtrained myself. I got injured. I was forced to take a step back. Right? My knee got bad. I think that was the only. I know I said I didn't have any major injuries in life before.
So you just remembered.
Yeah, that was like the first, not say major, but the first injury I ever experienced because I overused my knee too much.
Significant enough for you.
Yeah, significant for me can't stay.
For it to affect your daily life.
Yeah.
I think that's when
Yeah.
we learn big
Correct.
lessons. Yeah.
Yeah, then like I had to stop playing basketball. I stopped playing basketball for like years. Then it kind of like phased out of my life. Then like I'm not too sure. Like, wow, like I feel like I'm not working hard now, or like I'm not doing anything with my life. Because to me, working hard and achieving something in life is related to playing basketball. Then I got a bit like depressed, not sure what to do. I got fat because I ate a lot. Because I'm stressed, I eat a lot.
That's still cute, right?
Yeah, so then I think by that point, after stopping playing basketball, I kind of come here as an intern and exploring other forms of fitness, hanging out with my friends, spending more time with my family. I kind of realized, oh, maybe life is not about basketball. It's not just basketball. They kind of just like explore more life. Like stop playing for a very long time. Then recently I started again.
Okay.
I started again just like for fun to play with my friends. Then like
Yeah,
now
enjoy.
I approach it as like for fun.
So it feels different.
It feels different. And because of it, right, I actually play much better than I did before. Because now it's not just about basketball. It's just like, okay, I'm here to have fun. I'm here to get my cardio in. I'm not gonna stress myself so much on being a good player or trying to force myself to
So there's
like,
less pressure from
achieve.
yourself.
Correct. I feel more free now. So although it's like a very minor portion of my life, it's like what, from year 13 to like year 21, 22 years old.
Yep.
That's not, I guess, that long to me. Because
No, but
I
you've
still
lived
have
a
more
lot
to
less
live.
than us, so relatively,
Yeah.
it's the same when we break it down to percentages.
Relatively, I no, I mean, like no offense. Relatively.
That's like 1/3 of your life.
Yeah. Exactly, right? It's like, it's all relative.
Yeah. So then now I apply this to like my everyday life where I don't take things too much into heart. I will try my best, but I will not pressure myself to like must do this, must do that. You know what I mean?
I'm just thinking about like where I was at 22. I was not this reflective.
Yeah.
I was not able to like look at things this way. So, I mean, I don't think, I'm not saying you've had it easy. What I think is that it's a blessing that you're already starting to look at things this way. Yeah, because for some of us, I think it's taken a while longer to come around to where we are now. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's so great, and it's great that you can return to it and enjoy it. Yeah,
it's so much
that's
more
fun.
fun. I think it's also because I hang out with this guy.
Why?
No,
I'm doing too many things.
no, it's like okay. I think sorry, a bit of a tangent, but I think you asked this at the start of internship.
Yes.
During an early part-time period, I think around there. Like you asked, like, do you feel, like, I don't know, more mature or like more out there now that you're kind of having to hang out with an older crowd,
Yep.
in a way. Then sometimes I think about that question to this day.
Okay.
I mean, like, yeah, I guess like hanging out with people, let's just say not just say older, but like from more walks of life and who have walked further in life compared to me has maybe kind of broadened my realization in a way.
Yeah.
Because like as a student, 13 to 18, you're usually hanging out with people your age.
Yep.
And everyone then is like kind of trying to figure things out.
Yeah. Like on the same page.
On the same
Yeah.
page. Right? Whereas when I'm here, like let's say outside coaching, I kinda get your point of view from where my like you kinda figured things out already when you were at my age. And you've experienced it.
I mean, later in your age, I figured it out, then I just pass it to.
Yeah, correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I also think about like who were our teachers when we were in our early 20s, and what did they say, and what kind of impact did they have,
yeah,
which
correct.
may explain why it's taken us longer to get to where we are, right? And then that impacts the next person that we have a conversation with, right? And I feel like that's a good thing. That's only a good thing, because then if Philip is figuring this stuff out
At this
in the
age,
early
can you
20s,
imagine 10 years later what
right.
you
So it's
figure
sort of
out?
like it's really promising, like
Yeah.
for these sorts of communities, and you know, sort of as new coaches come on board, and what you're going to share with them, and again, sort of moving away from whether you're younger or older than them, but rather what is the experience that you have with Red Dot Fitness, and what can you sort of share with anybody
Kudos to
who's
you.
yeah.
Okay. So now we're reverting back to you guys.
Yes.
So how long did it take you to overcome?
Overcome.
I thought he might have forgotten.
Yeah, I know.
like sort of, I was like,
Maybe I talk about my.
Okay.
Because you're talking about fitness and sports, right?
Yeah.
So I grew up. Okay, the very first memory I have in my early years, right, is me either playing badminton, soccer, or basketball.
oh,
So my life revolved around sports, and I think that's the reason why nowadays like some members like, hey, you can do everything, but it's just because my upbringing is really exposed me to everything. Like it can be hopscotch, it can be anything that is physically challenged. So I think the first downfall is because I was also in basketball in primary school. So the moment I switched to secondary school, everyone will thought that I would be in basketball. But guess what? I'm in Boy Scouts.
Oh, okay.
so I deal with like knots, outdoorsy stuff.
okay, sure.
So it's totally, I mean, when you talk to secondary school kids, they're like, oh, scouts, like, you're in the uniform group, you don't exercise, you always slack and whatever. So, but surprisingly, scouts give me life skills that I didn't know that I needed to have. But actually I can use it. And at the meantime, during the secondary school period, I joined outside basketball team. So indirectly, I co-running two heads at that point. So it's like as a uniform group and then also as basketball. So at that time, I also signed up for like 3-on-3s, like other competitions and stuff. Then I realized that, okay, martial arts sounds so cool at that time. So after graduating from secondary school, I entered to poly, like, okay, I want to do something sports related, but let me do something with no ball sports and racket sports. Let me go into Muay Thai. So once I entered Muay Thai, it's like I entered it for like 8 years. And during the 8 years was NS and also joining marathons with my dad. And that's why there's a phase of marathons in my life. Yeah, because my dad used to love to run. I mean, even now. So I think what hit me really hard for me, right, is like, why you sign up for half marathon, whereby I can just run outside for half marathon.
Right.
So that's my dad.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it's like, okay, if I want to sign up for marathon, I'll move. So basically, that come out the RX mentality, whereby it's not. I haven't even do CrossFit yet.
You just want to go all out.
Yeah. So then after that, then we entered the CrossFit. So CrossFit itself, I think I was still doing Muay Thai for another 2 more years while doing CrossFit and also running. So 3 things are moving at the same time. And then I go into coaching, then go into opening Red Dot, and that's where I start competing. And that's where tunnel vision happened. That stuck for, I would say, 6-7 years. So my competition phase is like 2015 in CrossFit to 2022. During this period whereby opens,
quite recent. 22.
yeah, so opens and stuff. That's where I like really working myself out.
But that also coincides with this idea of I am the head coach and owner of Red Dot,
correct.
And what is expected
like
of
the
me
responsibility
and
the expectation. That's why I need to so-called put the Red Dot name out there and push, right? Then I realized that wow, I'm like getting sore and everything. Then there's a period where I start trying out different sports. So I tried snowboarding and love it. Then I go into golf. I mean, golf is where I started off when I was really young because my dad played golf. So I kind of go back in and then play some golf. After that, go back into BJJ. And then realize that, okay, BJJ seems like something that I would like because of the intensity level. But it's a different ball game whereby CrossFit, I like the intensity, that's why I would do CrossFit. But the thing is, CrossFit is, how to say, like very fast paced, like the high intensity at very fast pace. But BJJ to me is high intensity but very slow pace, meaning whereby
yeah, that's true actually.
BJJ will be like I'll be stuck in a position but with full body tension, so that spike up the intensity. But I'm not saying that I'm moving like spasming like crazy, but that give me the so-called relatability between CrossFit and BJJ. And so because of the slower pace but remain the same intensity, I was able to feel healthier in a way that I don't get so broken like after a workout. So that's why I think that's the reason why a lot of like veteran CrossFitters were like Jason Caliper, Chris Spiller, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other CrossFitters who are not doing CrossFit anymore.
Right.
Are into grapplings, wrestling, your BJJ stuff. Because it's just same intensity but just a different gameplay. So back to your question of when it switched is when the period of fully involved in that tunnel from like 7 years and realized that yes, how much more am I gonna push my body? And I'm not gonna let go of CrossFit, but I'm gonna use it as a supplementary to until I found something I like. So the something I like is visually now. Yeah. So even when I was going back to golf, right, you might be surprised by in terms of the technique side, right, I'm actually using only lifting technique to work on my golf swing. Because of like the first pull, second pull, then the third pull. As a coach, I'm able to relate like golf itself, the upswing might be a first pull, then the execution will be second, then the finish will be a third pull, and then it helps in my technique at that point. Have a
but
more
also
clarity.
because like sort of, I mean, for you're thinking of it first, second pull, but it's also like understanding the biomechanics of the body, because the more we move, the more we get to understand, right? The more we get to start to see, oh, this is the body in motion in this realm, but look at how applicable it is here, right? Like sort of we no longer need to try and break it down from scratch.
So that's how I shifted. But of course, during the 7 years, there's injuries that firstly my arm is crooked, right? so I could not be straightened. So, but for me to last through the period to compete and be able to, in this situation, right, I think it's a win. Because I don't think I could even achieve the PRs that I ever achieved with the disadvantage of structural wise, right? Then of course there's time where I woke up, right, will give me culture shock kind, like a huge shock. Like, let's say Friday I woke up, nothing happened. The next morning when I wake up, right, I can't turn my wrist. There was a point where like it's stuck. Yeah, like, okay, this is no go, man. Like I don't feel any pain the previous day though. Then they're like, okay, let's go A&E, and then do MRI. So that's like a wake up call.
So what about you, Jen?
Yeah, I think it's just really interesting because, you know, as I've already mentioned, I didn't have like such an athletic background like Eugen, but at some point I also, it wasn't like when I started doing movement I was suddenly great at it. It was just, I think for me a lot of what I did maybe comes from more just my attitude to being a good student, like this idea of like I want to be really good at whatever I apply myself in. So when I first started doing group exercise and became an instructor, it was all about getting onto recordings, right? Like and becoming like a presenter for the program, right? Which I was on the path to. And then I got injured and got pulled back. And at the same time, not to the same degree as Eugen, but I was also doing a lot more running, and the same injury pulled me back away from running. So then I come into, and I think before that, or at the same time as group exercise, I also dabbled with Muay Thai, and was like, right, well then let's go to Thailand and live there for a few months. And so I trained Muay Thai 6 days a week. So it was this all or nothing, right? It's like when I'm doing something, I'm doing it, and it is my life, like sort of, you know. And there were certain circumstances that led me to being in Thailand for that period of time, but I wasn't like, let's backpack. It was like, no, let's go to a Muay Thai school and sort of like be a student sort of thing, you know. And then CrossFit comes along, and I think sort of when I had that arm injury, and it was just this sort of sudden realization of, once again, I have poured my entire self into one thing and now it has been taken away from me. I started going for yoga as a way to rehab. It was one of the only things I could do fairly safely and be able to opt out of things when my arm wouldn't allow for it. And it was actually my cousin back in England. She said something, and I still think about it today. I can't remember word for word, but she said something along the lines of, any habit is bad if you build it up to a point where it's obsessive. Because she knows about my eating disorder history. She knows about another part of my life from when I was much younger, maybe around your age, and I was living in another country and living very differently, you know, and she knows a lot about like the way I've lived my life, you know, sort of but it's always been excessive, right? It's always been like sort of, what is the most I can do with this version of my life? And I think what she was worried about was seeing me sort of get injured and fall in and out of these different movement modalities. And she was like, this looks better because it's healthier than what you were doing in your 20s, but it's just as unhealthy if you continually get injured, feel ostracized from a community, and your eating disorder comes back. She was like, it's no better than when you were doing less savory stuff, right? Like sort of sort of a decade ago. And that really struck me. And so when I realized that I was sort of following the same pattern with yoga, like I was really getting into it, I was really enjoying it, I actually sort of took a step back and was like, okay, I don't want to follow the same path of becoming obsessive, either to the point of injury or something else that sort of means that I can no longer engage with it. And so I guess I gave myself rules. So it was like, you can go for 1 class a day. You must make sure that at least 2 classes in the week are soft or slow or recovery focused. You know, this was once my arm was recovered, you know. And then I started dabbling again with CrossFit. I changed boxes. That certainly helped. I sort of like just needed a change of community. And yeah, like sort of, I think, just thinking about like how you've already come to the realization of needing to balance things. I think sort of much later on in my life, I just realized the only way I can do this and feel healthy up here and in my body is if I'm not doing all of one thing. I'm doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And eventually, you know, sort of I moved away from CrossFit as well, and that was more circumstantial. There was no injury, there was no drama, it was more just sort of circumstance that meant that I sort of slowly pulled away from that, started doing other movement, and I think just gave myself permission to explore. Because there was definitely a part of me, you know, we talk about drinking the Kool-Aid in CrossFit, and you know, and I want. Have you not heard the term? Okay, so I think this is old school CrossFit maybe, right? So to drink the Kool-Aid is like sort of where you are like fully on board, right?
Yeah.
You have sort of decided like, yes, this is my
CrossFit
life.
is-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And there was this video of the CrossFit girls like back in,
Yes.
right?
In
Like
my
so
mind, I still remember.
I'm sure everybody's watched it, like sort of, and if you haven't, it's probably still on YouTube. And I remember watching it and sort of like just, you know, I wanted to be a
Like,
CrossFit
yeah.
girl sort of thing, you know, and so I think, yeah, just realizing that I needed to create some distance between myself and the things that I was practicing, and that I was not betraying anyone by exploring other movements.
Yep.
Because I think there was definitely a sense of betrayal if I were to, in my very heady CrossFit days, try something else. Because in order for me to try something else,
So they give up.
yes, it meant that I didn't go
Ah,
to the
correct.
box that day.
Yep.
And then what does that look like? The only acceptable reason to not turn up in the box was that you were sick or traveling.
At that time, yes.
Right, at that time, not today, at that time, right? And so if I was going because I was going for a dance class or trying something, like it was sort of like, don't
Hush,
tell
hush.
anyone, yeah. And so I sort of started to give myself permission to just be like, well, what's it like to try kin stretch and FRC and,
Yeah.
and Feldenkrais and somatic movement and other styles of yoga. And yeah, it was really like sort of, it's so funny, right? Because CrossFit talks about generalization in the most positive way, but only if you do it within the realm
Yep.
of CrossFit, right? And I was like, well, what if I take that generalization and I
Oh,
explore,
everything.
yeah.
Ah, correct.
And it may have meant that, sure, I lost some strength, I lost some skills, but I gained like mental clarity and resilience that I had been lacking for some time, yeah. So I think distance and just permission to try other things like really helped. And now I feel like I can maybe go into other environments that are CrossFit-esque and I don't feel nervous anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like comfortable again. Yeah.
I think for everyone, it's just kind of, I guess, just try new things. If you feel like you're tunnel visioning yourself.
And what's the point in having all this fitness
Yeah,
if
if
you're
you're not
like,
gonna use it.
like
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
really good at going to the gym, like sort of, I mean, and then what, you know? Yeah.
Actually, I will say, right, like, okay, I mean, I guess it's good I have this realization early because I can kind of be more reflective. One of the downsides, right, because there will always be ups and downs to things, like, in my opinion, is that I find it very hard, right? Cannot say very hard, like difficult. Challenging, right? To push myself mentally in like certain things, right? Because, okay, I'm competitive, but I'm only competitive when it comes to actual competition. when it comes to train, right, I find it very hard to like push myself. I think you would know about this. Like you know that I'm a bit like setback. Like sometimes I will setback.
Yeah.
It's like wow shit, I like mentally cannot push myself. Then sometimes I will use the excuse of
Tiredness.
balance. I have to tire it out. I need to balance it out.
Right.
So like for me, kind of like it's a reverse in a way whereby like okay, now I need to learn how to put in the effort, right? To
Yeah.
achieve something at a higher level, right? Then yeah, in a way it's kind of reversed, you know what I mean?
I mean, but I think that's sort of the oscillation of just moving through life, right? I think it's very rare that we're right smack bang in the middle. We've got it all together. Everything is balanced. I think it is a case of, yeah, I've kind of been slacking lately. I need to pick it up. Okay, I feel myself going a little too hard, a little too intense. I'm definitely feeling like physically drained. Let's back off a little bit. And for me, again, it's a part of this acceptance. I'm not accepting and now I'll just slack completely. It's more like instead of me swinging from one extreme to the other, right? Can I let the swings or the oscillations just be a little bit smaller? Yeah.
Correct.
So like sort of sometimes I'm like, yeah, Jen, come on, you need to move a bit more. And at other times I'm like, okay, I am clearly run down, I'm falling sick, I need to pull back a bit. But that movement the margin is narrower these days. Yeah, I feel.
For you to be aware of it now at 23
Yeah.
is a huge thing. Because okay, so I just on a position whereby viewing you as an individual and as a coach, right? For you to realize this as an individual, firstly it will give you some kind of stepping stone and realize that okay, this need to be done. I'm aware that I'm slacking, or like I'm aware that this looks like a repeated pattern that I need to address. Which is a good thing because naturally you become better at it. Because the more it pop up, the more chance you can practice on it and then try to overcome it. Then as a coach at this age, for you to aware this, and it's a learning process for you to overcome because indirectly your coaching side will not allow you to prolong this back and forth. I mean, just thinking of a professional point of view, because your coaching side will tell you, okay, I need to be an example of members. I need to be something that I can able to perform. I don't need to be like a top person, but I can't be overly slack. So that's like your like a warning sign, like ask you to wake up.
It's a responsibility, right? Yeah.
Wake up. But that learning process, as you get older as a coach, right, will allow you to coach other athletes, right, to go through that process easier. Because everyone will have a track feeling. If you're able to overcome it at this age, it's like you'll get more firm in terms of your fundamentals.
I think also like sort of if you struggle with like the invert of what I tend to have to work on is like maybe also who's your accountability partner in that, right? Like sort of like how do you sort of like start to spot where you're feeling a little less enthused about, certain movements or workouts. We all have, I know if I go to a gym session and somebody else is running it, or I go to a yoga class and somebody's teaching it, I guarantee you they will be teaching something I don't like. Because if I'm responsible for all of my training, guess what I'm going to do? I'm not going to do the things that I don't like, right? So sometimes accountability doesn't need to be literally a partner that you go to the gym with. The accountability can come in the form of, I'm going to go to somebody else's session, right? And they're going to, because they're not thinking about what I like and what I don't like, they're just thinking about providing a balanced program. I'm going to end up doing some stuff that I probably need to work on, right? So there are other ways of addressing this as well. Yeah.
Actually, for me, right, the weird thing is that for me to kind of keep accountable in a way, right, I don't tell people. Like, okay. So basically, it's a bit stupid. Okay, I mean, I've told Eugene this before. Maybe you say, I don't tell a lot of people what I'm gonna do.
Sure.
I only tell those who are like, okay, Eugene knows I'm training for something. Right?
Okay, I was gonna
I'm
say
not
don't say it on
I'm
the
not gonna
podcast.
say it
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
but he knows I'm training for something
Okay.
within
Great.
a very short timeline. So I noticed this about myself, whereby if I'm gonna declare to everyone, right, what I'm gonna do, right, I end up not doing it.
He's a rebellious kid.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah,
this is just you wanting to be difficult or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't,
sort of, yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I can't notice this trend. If I declare that I'm gonna do something, I just somehow end up not doing it. So when I set myself to do up something, I'll just keep it on the low. Right, just like okay, maybe I'll tell one or two people who needs to know, like I don't know, parents
Yeah.
or like people I'm gonna ask advice from, like
Yeah.
Eugene, right? Then I will not tell anyone else. Once I have gone through that, only then once I've gone through that, like I achieve it, then I will tell other people.
Okay.
That I know it's a bit weird.
No,
But
I
that
think it
helps.
almost makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's like just enough
Yeah,
people
correct.
know that you feel responsible to fulfill it, but not
Correct,
so many
correct.
people know that you feel like
Too
this is too
precious.
much. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and sometimes
that
if I
makes
talk
sense.
about it too much, I feel like I already have accomplished it, but I haven't. Then I get less motivated. Then I will train. Yeah, that's like just the one. I don't know if it's like very common that people experience this.
I think it's a black horse mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just don't want to set the expectation too high,
Yeah.
and then I'll just want to come up with a bang.
Yeah,
Right?
maybe
I think
it
that kind
could
of
be that.
mentality. So
Yeah.
I think there's a period that Red Dot is like this in the early days,
Okay.
whereby I will tell people, even to date, I also tell everyone that for Red Dot members to compete is anytime. It's whether you want it or don't want it. Because everyone has the potential to compete in any like event and stuff, but since there's different category now, right?
Right.
Yeah. So not saying that you need to podium or what, but the thing is, you won't be that bad in a way. So if you really want to compete, then in the past it's like we go in subtle, and then boom, then we start podiuming and everything. But I think this also because of where we were from. In a way, that's why the starting period of Radar is very similar.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure, that would have played a role in how you first started things. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I give you an example. Remember the time I said I was gonna do a boxing fight at the start of the year?
Yeah.
Guess what? That never happened. and last year I told people about it. Then it never happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that. Then I felt like I was making empty promises. So I just stopped telling people about it. Only when I done it, then I tell them about it. You know what I mean? Like basically to kind of boil it all down, it's like okay, just put the work in, don't talk about it. That's it.
I mean, yeah, but like, I mean, again, like if you've already found a method that works for you,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
kudos to you. Like, sort of, yeah, it can take a long time to come around to that. So, well, good luck with whatever you are training for.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll discover when you announce that you have already done it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe hopefully cross my fingers end of year.
Okay.
End of the year.
Yeah.
Close
Alright.
end of the year.
Yeah, don't leak out too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, maybe stop there. Like,
Yeah, stop there. It's just that I love to talk about myself sometimes and like, oh, I cannot help it, you know, like I'm doing this. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, wow, it's a long one.
yeah.
Oh yeah, shit. This
Okay.
I,
Okay.
yeah, I know I keep saying this, but
But
I think this is the longest one so far.
yeah,
I think this has been the longest one so far. Yeah.
I didn't realize we have been talking
Yeah.
for as long as we
Yeah.
have. So, apologies and congratulations
It's
if
okay.
anyone made it
Very-
this far.
very true.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I think overall this episode, right, to kind of sum it all up, unless you guys have anything else to add on.
But I think to sum up everything throughout the whole either part 1 or part 2 episode of this
Yeah.
is to
Make it part 2. This is part. This will be in part 2.
Yeah.
for sure. like this series. Okay?
Yeah, this-
So to sum up is basically be aware. That's most important, and knowing that even you have like imposter syndrome, you're not the only one.
Yeah, I think feeling like sort of like knowing that you're not alone in those
Yeah.
feelings, and I think sort of when it comes to community, really understanding what that means to you, so that the community can thrive and not be at risk of moving towards more toxic behaviors. I think that's really important, and I think that sort of just is a canvas for mental health, primarily for coaches perhaps, but all of that has that drip down effect into members.
And so like self-reflection, like do you really love to do the thing that you're doing based on what you love, or if because of other social expectation that require you to do so, and then you just like just riding the wave and hopefully it doesn't break down. And of course, if you haven't found something that you really love, then
Explore.
just
Continue to
keep
explore,
exploring.
right? Yeah, like sort
keep
of.
exploring.
Just explore as much as you can. When you think you had it all, then that's when kind of life
That's the
and
danger
learning
zone. Yeah.
stops happening.
But of course, if you found something that you love, then you
Of
can
course,
dive through it.
dive through it.
But if not, then I would say explore everything as much as possible. And if
Yep.
you use fitness as a vehicle, right, then use it to explore other things, right? Other things that you really like.
Yeah, to remain curious with
Yeah.
your movement.
Yep. Otherwise,
All good.
all good.
We'll
That's
see
it.
you next week.
Hope to see you again, yeah?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Okay.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
What are we doing today?
Your question.
What do you mean?
No, okay. I need you to keep quiet so I know when to stop!
This is a good outtake for.
Yeah. Okay.